So, you want to know how to sell on Whatnot? You found the perfect video. The video I wish existed 8 months ago when I wanted to sell on Whatnot. Oh my God, I wish I had this video. And here it is for you on a silver platter. Let's start where I feel like people don't remember to start, okay? Before you sell on Whatnot, let's take care of shit first, okay? Set up an LLC. Set up an LLC. It takes you like 10 minutes. Go to your state's website. Every state has a different website for this. Go to your state's website. In Virginia, it's $100. It's one time. You never have to pay a renewal, nothing. $100, you're done. They give you an EIN, which is an employer identification number. That's what you're going to use for everything. Instead of giving people your social security number, you're going to give them that number. That is your business's social security number, if you will. It is a number that only your business has, and that's how the government identifies you, okay? Get an EIN, please. LLC is not the only way to get an EIN, but starting out, LLC is all you need. You don't need anything more complicated than that. It's super easy to set up. It's just do an LLC, okay? Why do you want one? Why do you need one? There's going to be a lot of situations where it's going to be required of you. Now, to set up a Whatnot, you don't need an LLC. You can use your social security number, yes. But if you're in it for the long haul, which if you're watching this video, you probably are in it for the long haul, you cannot get a whole list of things without an employer identification number, without an LLC. Business bank accounts, savings and checkings, business line of credit, business credit cards. You cannot buy wholesale. You cannot buy wholesale without an EIN. You need one. And you cannot sell at conventions. If that's something you want to do outside of Whatnot, you cannot sell at conventions without an EIN. Also, having an LLC in general, separate from the EIN, separate from the number that they give you, okay? It keeps your assets separate. Your assets, your car, your house, all of your possessions, your freaking TV, okay? It keeps that separate from all of the business assets, okay? All the inventory, all your supplies, all your little shelving and stuff, all right? So if your business fails and you have to file the business for bankruptcy, they're not going to take your TV, okay? They're going to leave your TV alone. It's going to bankrupt your business, but they're not going to come after your stuff in your house. You feel me? Keep it separate. Keep it separate. If someone sues you, same thing, not even bankruptcy. Someone sues you, say you sell consumables, someone eats something, they get sick, you sold them like a recalled product or something, they sue you, they can't take your house, they can't take your car. Get an LLC. Takes you 10 minutes, costs you, depending on the state you're in, $100, $150. You're good. You're safe. You got that little number that you need for all the little number things, and they can't take your stuff, okay? Just do it. First, that's the first thing you do. Before we talk about any of this, go do that. Pause this video, go do that, come back. Thank you. Now, before you sell on Whatnot, you're obviously going to need inventory. Because what the fuck are you selling if you don't have inventory? What are you selling? You cannot start a stream on hopes and dreams, bro. You need to have product. This is a given. This is a given. I don't even need to tell you this. All right. Where do you get inventory? Oh my God. This is the number one question that I get. You guys actually will not stop asking me this question. I get this question minimum weekly. Sometimes literally every day for days in a row. Where do you get your inventory? Where do you find your stuff? Who's your guy? What's their number? How'd you find him? Look! Did you look? Did you look? Did you look? Because you know how I found him. I looked, bro. I looked and I looked and I looked. And guess what? When I didn't find anything, I kept looking. And when I did find something, I messaged them. They didn't reply to me, I messaged them again. Don't harass them. But you gotta be persistent, bro. If you want it, get it. If you want it, get it. Don't just give up. Don't just be like, well, they didn't reply. It wasn't meant to be. Message them again. Call them, text them, email them. I don't know. Get it done. Get it done. If you want it that bad, go get it. What we got? Okay. Where to find inventory? I feel like a lot of these things could be found if you just Googled it, but I'm going to tell you anyways because the whole point of this video is to be helpful. I'm not trying to sound... I know I'm coming off bitchy, but also... Okay. Let me shut up. I'm supposed to be helping. I'm not supposed to be complaining that you don't know. Okay? Let me lock in. All right. Where do you find inventory? I'll give you a quick list. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I'm not going to be like, these are the exact people that you need to talk to. There are no perfect people. Everybody has different suppliers and everybody has a successful business, okay? There is no one magic supplier that's going to make you on fucking Whatnot. You feel me? You are going to make you do that on Whatnot. Doesn't matter what you're selling. Facebook, Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, OfferUp, Whatnot. You can set up a tax-exempt Whatnot account. Do it. That's what you need your EIN for. You cannot get a tax-exempt Whatnot account without an EIN. That's why we started with setting up an LLC. That's why we started there. You don't have to pay taxes on stuff. In my state, it's only 5.3%. I know other states are way more. Oklahoma's got like 11% sales tax. North Carolina is like 7.5%. That eats into your margins because especially if you're in video games, maybe you're not, maybe you're in a different category, but if you're in video games, those margins are this fucking big. They're this fucking big. So if you're paying 7.5% sales tax, you're cooked. You're cooked. That's your whole margin most of the time. That's the whole margin. Get that out. Get that out. EIN first. Then set up a tax-exempt Whatnot account. Conventions. Great place to find inventory. You can find rare stuff. You can find people who own stores. Talk to people who own stores. They're going to have so much inventory that they don't know how to move sometimes. Brick and mortar is only capable of so much, and not everyone is willing to stream on Whatnot to move inventory. But you are, so talk to them. Set up business partnerships with them. Help them offload stuff, okay? Talk to people who talk to other business owners. Talk to other sellers, okay? Local game stores right after that. Conventions, local game stores. GameStop, sometimes, okay, hey. We all know how the gaming community feels about what GameStop, okay? They be overcharging sometimes, okay? But every once in a while, GameStop's they got a pretty good sale. They got a pretty good sale, okay? Last one. This is not as well known. The platform is becoming increasingly more irritating to use every quarter because they work on a quarterly basis. They have quantity limits, and I swear every quarter the quantity limits get smaller per person, okay? But Woot, W-O-O-T, it's a subsidiary of Amazon. It's how they liquidate inventory from Amazon.com. But a lot of the games, you can only buy like 1, 2, 3 of them per fiscal quarter. So like every 3 months, you can have 1, 2, 3 of them. So like if you're willing to sit there and scroll through all 100 Switch games they have and put one of each in your cart, and then half the time they split it up into different boxes and you have to pay shipping on a bunch of them, a bunch of separate times. So like you only got 100 things in your cart, but there's 12 boxes and each box is $6 shit. This last quarter, I didn't even use it this last quarter. It was irritating. I started to build a cart, and the cart pissed me off, and I deleted the cart. So I don't got time for this. But if you do have time for it, and you don't know where else to get inventory, that's a great place to start. It's a great place to start. Woot. There's so many places to look. And there's so many places that'll lead you to so many other places to look. You can Google where to find blah, blah, blah. Even those little rudimentary AI lists that freaking Gemini on Google tries to give you, sometimes that's helpful. Don't use ChatGPT. Use your freaking brain, okay? I'm not promoting AI. Use your freaking brain. Cannot stand people who use AI for things that you could just think of. Just stop for a minute and use your brain and think of it yourself, bro. Stop. We're not even to this part yet, but do not use AI for anything creative. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you can Google it, don't use AI, okay? If it's a creative endeavor, maybe you're just not creative enough. Maybe this isn't meant for you. If you can't do it without AI, maybe you just can't do it. Okay? Maybe it's just not meant for you. If you got to use AI for everything because you can't use your own freaking brain, then maybe you need to find something that's easier. Okay? Find something that's just busy work, works for you. Okay? Running a business, owning a business, one of the most stressful things you could do. One of the most... You have to be good at everything. You have to be good at everything all the time. Because if you fail in one area, the whole business is going to feel it. You got to know how to do everything. You got to be good at doing everything. Okay? All this stuff. You got to keep all this stuff up in your head all the time. Oh. All right, moving on. How do you pay for the inventory? How do you fund this business? Okay, you have a few options. Number one, bootstrap it. Okay, maybe you already have a game collection that you want to sell. Maybe that's how you got into Whatnot. Maybe you were a little down bad for some cash. You got a flat tire, your car broke down, behind on rent, something. You got a valuable game collection. It's pretty easy to set yourself up on Whatnot, get started selling. Okay, people will just start selling their game collection to make a little bit of extra cash. I've seen people do it before. They're in between jobs or something. It helps tie them over a few $100 in their pocket. Easy, easy. So you can bootstrap it. You can sell the stuff that you already have. Use the money that you make off of that. Say you have $500 of stuff, you sell all $500. You use that $500 and you spend it on more. You spend that $500 on more inventory. Maybe you get $750 back from that investment. You reinvest the $750. Next time you get $1,200 back on that investment. So on. You get what I'm saying? That's bootstrapping. You don't put any of your own money into it other than that initial investment of either money or inventory, depending on what you already have on hand. And then the business just keeps funding itself, like snowballing into itself. So if you're not in a rush to grow, if you're just doing this part-time, this is just a side thing, a little bit of extra money, or if you're content where you're working right now, you got a good job, you don't hate it, you would love to be a streamer someday, but you're not itching to get out of that office job, okay? It's fine. You like your coworkers, your boss is okay, but you don't want all your eggs in one basket. You want a little something on the side. You want a little something, that you could branch out into maybe one day. You can bootstrap it. No problem with that. I did not have that option. I needed money. I needed it fast. There was a minimum amount of money I had to make, or we would have to we couldn't pay our bills. We were in like $5,000 of credit card debt. We were behind on rent. Couldn't pay for groceries. I simply had to make money. So there's some other options if you need to grow fast, or if you want to grow fast and you're willing to take a risk on yourself. Here's some of the things that I did or that you can do. Family and friend loans. If you have family and friends who like you and also have money and are also willing to give you maybe low to no interest, that's great. I don't like my family. My family doesn't like me. Okay, I don't ask them for money. We don't talk. So I was on my own in that regard. No little cash coming in my way. Okay. But if you got that would be the first place I would go. Okay, that would be the first person I would ask before you start talking about any kind of like business credit. Okay, cash is king. Try to get cash if you can. Should have brought the mic in closer when I did that. Actually, that was pretty okay. Anyways, speaking of business lines of credit, you got your EIN. Congratulations, you can take out a business credit card or a business loan. I would personally recommend you get a business credit card and not a business loan, because the business loan is, say, they approve you for $25K, you spend the $25K, you pay off the $25K, you don't have any more business credit. But if you get a $25,000 credit card, you can spend it to $25, pay off the $25, and you have another $25 to spend whenever you want, whenever you need it, okay? So that's just like a rolling, perpetual. You can have this money whenever, but you don't need to spend it all at once. If they give you a business loan, they just drop $25,000 in your lap, and then they put you on a payment plan. So you're gonna immediately start owing that back right away. Okay. But business line of credit is a little bit different depending on the card that you sign up for. I have an AmEx Plum card. Nice thing about that is you have, instead of 30 days to pay it off, you have 60 days. So you run the card up, the business statement populates, you have 30 days from the population date to pay it off, no interest. If you pay it off early, they give you 1.5% cash back. We pay it off in the first 10 days of bill population, I believe. Something else I recently opened, especially when I started Whatnot, I needed a lot of money really fast because I wanted to aggressively invest into this and then go from there. So I applied for, doesn't have to be this card. I got a Chase credit card, business card. Business card is important. Do not open a personal credit card, because if you open a personal credit card and you max it out, that's going to show up on your personal, it's going to show up on your personal credit history, your credit maximum, like, what's the word for it? Oh my God. Utilization. It's going to show up on your personal utilization. So if you only had $10K in credit before this, they give you a $20,000 credit card, you max that out, you're now using 2/3 of your credit. Don't do that. Get a business card. It puts all of the it gives you a new credit score. It's your business's credit score. It's your business's credit utilization. Keeps it like I said, LLC EAN is great. Keeps it separate from you. Okay? Make sure that you're getting a business credit card. Not only is it going to keep the two credit scores separate, it's going to keep the two credit utilizations separate, but you're much more likely to get a higher credit offer as a business credit card because they expect businesses to spend more money and they expect that money to come back faster because you're spending money to make money. You're not just like running up your personal credit card at the mall. You know, you're spending money to make money, so they trust you with higher amounts of money lent out to you. So what I did, I shopped around. I found one that worked for me. Find one that works for you. There's going to be different credit offers at different times of the year, depending on which credit companies are like really fiending for new customers, okay? But the one that I signed up for, it was a Chase business card. I don't freaking remember what card it is. I want to say the signature card or something. Doesn't matter. You don't have to get the exact same one. But I chose that one because they had 12 months 0 APR, which means annual rate. Oh, frick, that's probably your APY, annual percentage yield. Oh, don't quiz me. don't ask me. Okay, it means you don't have to pay any interest on anything that you put on the card for a whole year. Okay, that's what it means. For dummies, because I'm a dummy and I need to explain it to myself like that. It means that you can run the whole thing up to the absolute credit max. You're still going to have to make minimum payments on this card. Don't get me wrong. There's not no payments for a year. There's no interest on these payments for a year. So if you run this thing up, you're still going to have that minimum payment, which is always like a stupid small amount compared to actually how much you owe. Like the payment plan that they put you on is going to take you like 30 years to pay this off, which is good because then you rack up more interest. So it's not going to be an amount to like speak of. You're not going to be stressed paying it back, I promise. But you do need to pay that back before the 12 months because you know what happens after the 12 months? A lot of these cards, read the fine print, a lot of these cards are going to retroactively charge you this interest, bro. They're gonna charge you this interest as if it had been accruing for the last 12 months. So however much you run up on that card, you better pay that off. You better pay that off by the time that comes around. If there is a dime left on it, they're gonna smack you with fees on that. That dime's gonna turn into $1 real quick, okay? So however much you run the card up, be confident that you can pay it back, okay? You are responsible for that money still. Credit is, it's a credit towards something, okay? It's not free. It's a credit towards something. They're investing in you. You're investing in yourself. You got to pay them back, okay? All right. So you set up your LLC. You got funding. You got inventory, okay? Let's move on. Let's create your Whatnot account if you haven't already. And if you have already, these steps still apply to you, okay? I'm not going to teach you how to do the blah, blah, blah and whatnot because they make you watch these little videos and they take you little steps through. Like, I'm not going to teach you how to create a show or anything like that. Like, they taught you. They made you watch videos. You're fine. Okay. But you need to think of an account name. What's your account name going to be? Please do not use your first name, your last initial, and then your birthday. Don't do that. You're creating a brand. You're creating a brand that tells me nothing about you except your first name, your last initial, and your birthday. It does not tell me how I should feel about your brand. It does not tell me the products that you offer. It does not tell me why I should choose you over the other people. It doesn't establish anything. It doesn't make me feel anything. Your username should either inform or evoke like an emotion, okay? It needs to have a purpose. You can't just pull something out of thin air and be like, that works, okay? It needs to mean something. It needs to mean something. I say that, I know I say that, and I have the goofiest name probably ever. In my defense, it was my Amazon account name, which didn't matter because nobody on Amazon knows that there's third-party sellers on there anyways. They treat everybody like they're Amazon.com, so I figured my business name didn't matter because nobody knew it was me anyways. No one was checking. And then that rolled into me opening a storefront with the same name just because I thought it was cute, We had a little branding. It was dragon. Drace means family of dragons. We had a little dragon logo with the Drace place. Okay, it was real cute. And then I started the Whatnot account to help liquidate the inventory at the store. So I didn't really think about the account. I just threw the title of the store in as the account name because it was supposed to be supplementary to that business, not its own thing. But then it kind of just took over, and then I closed the store down, and now this is making way more money than the store ever did. And I thought about rebranding at 1 or 2K followers, but I was worried that like rebranding would have like hurt my visibility. I was worried that people would be like, "Where did the Drace place go?" And then they wouldn't be able to find me, and then they never watch me again. My account would die. I need therapy. So yeah, your account name should mean something. I'm getting really tired of people putting games in their account names. Bro, I'm sorry. Because I know what you're thinking. I gotta put games in my account name, in my username, because I need them to know that I sell games. I feel like that's a really great way to indicate that I sell games. You know how they're gonna know that you sell games, bro? You're gonna be in the game category with games in your thumbnail and games in your title. When they come into your show, you're gonna be selling games. That's how they know that you're a game seller, bro. Your username doesn't freaking matter, bro. It doesn't freaking matter. Make it nice. Make me curious. When I read it, I'm like, ooh, what's that? That's what it should. Ooh, what's that? Who's that? What's that? Huh? That's interesting. Yeah. All right. Don't make it like General McFucknuts, okay? Like I would ask myself, who's that? But I would also not really have much respect for that guy. Cause what are you doing? Like you're making yourself out to be a joke already. Am I supposed to take you seriously? All right. Moving on. Talking a lot about a username. Not getting through this at all. Your bio. I don't want an autobiography in your bio. I don't know you, and I don't care enough about you to read that. You should be communicating as much as possible in as few amount of words. If you can make it shorter, make it shorter. This is my first impression of you, and if my first impression of you is you don't know when to shut the fuck up, I might not come to your shows, okay? Keep it short, keep it sweet. That's the whole point of Whatnot. Rapid auctions, talk fast, keep people engaged. They have absolutely rotted out brains from TikTok, Instagram Reels, okay? You need to keep their attention. This long ass bio, I'm not reading it. See, you've already checked out. I've been talking too long. The shot's taken too long. There's been no interesting cuts. I haven't raised my voice at all. You're see how you're kind of drowning me out. You're not really paying attention anywhere because I'm talking too much. I need to say this in a more concise way. You see how horrible this feels? This should be a lot more concise than it is, but it's not because I'm making a point that you need to be concise. You need to be concise. Who are you? What are you selling? Why are you selling it? You don't have to include that part. Not everybody needs to know. Maybe you're doing it because you want to. You have to give people credit that they're as intelligent as you, that they can make assumptions, that they can infer the things that you're implying, like they can come to their own deductions, okay? Don't give people too much information. Okay? Keep it short and sweet. Profile picture. Should be you. It should be you, bro. I don't want to see AI. I don't want to see a picture of a rare game. Nobody cares, okay? I don't want to see a video game character that you didn't design, like straight up IPS infringement, okay? Needs to be you. You are your brand. You are your brand. The picture should be you. I don't want to see fucking, okay? This fucking angle, okay? Make it nice. Make it nice. If you're a girl, make it nice, but don't make it your boobs, okay? You're more than your boobs. If you want to be taken seriously, don't rely on sex sells, okay? Do I wear crop tops sometimes? Yes. I also dress like this, and men still objectify me. They don't care. You don't need to take out your tits. They will come and ogle at you regardless, bro. I could literally be wearing a trash bag, and they be in this chat. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't advertise yourself how you want to be seen. If you want to be seen as a pair of tits, make your profile picture a pair of tits. Okay? But if you want to be more than that, you need to be a little bit more creative. What? Okay. Banner. I didn't have a banner for months. I don't think a banner matters that much. Only upload one if the banner adds to your profile. If you can't think of a good picture to make your banner, then just don't add one. If it's going to detract or confuse people, just don't add one. It doesn't matter. I don't ever go to someone's profile that doesn't have a banner and be like, man, I really wish they had a banner. I would watch them if they had a banner. The no banner really ruins it for me. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just don't do one if you don't have one. First show. You gotta schedule it. You gotta schedule it ahead of time. Don't do a pop-up for a first show. Schedule it ahead of time. Give yourself at least a week, please, something. Give yourself a little breathing room. You gotta get in the right headspace. You gotta give yourself time to make people aware of it. You gotta promote yourself, okay? If you are already ingrained in the community, start talking. Tell your friends about it. Don't just send out a really generic share link. Share to all contacts. Share to all my DMs, and then like copy and paste. Don't do that. I delete all of those. It's spam. You're spamming people. Nobody wants to be spammed. Go into people's chat rooms. Ask them if you can promote before you promote, okay? Don't just self-promote. That's selfish. People are trying to run their show with their community that they built. They don't owe you anything. You are not entitled to those people's attention, okay? If they have the ability for you to sponsor a giveaway and then that sponsorship gets you a shout out, maybe do that. Everything's an investment, okay? That's a business write-off. That's a tax write-off. Maybe give some of those. Irrelevant streams. If you're selling video games, don't go into the beauty care, okay? Don't go into food and snacks. Stay in your category and market yourself to people that are going to care. Okay? Do you pay to promote? Like this do you promote your own show with the promotion tool? No. I wouldn't do that. No. People are going to come if they want to. They're going to stay if they like you. They're going to buy something if they find something that's worth buying. The promotion tool is not going to change any of those factors. It might bring people in, but also it's your first show, and it's probably not going to be very good because it's going to be your first show. Nobody's good at something the very first time they do it. So I wouldn't waste your money trying to promo, like paid promotion, your show, okay? You might not make any money that show, and that's okay. It's the fact that you did it and you got it over with, and your worst show is out of the way, okay? That's the most important thing, is to just start, because people always ask me, what do I do before I start? Just do it. It's going to be bad. Nobody's probably going to come. You're probably not going to sell anything, okay? You just got to get that first crappy show out of the way, okay? You might sell stuff. People might come. I'm being negative Nancy here, okay? Because I don't want you to have false hope for your first show. I see a lot of people do great on their first shows. I see a lot of people fall on their face. Depends on how you approach it, and how well you do, okay? How long should you stream your first time, or in general? I would say if you cannot commit to streaming at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe don't stream at all. Whatnot prefers longer streams in the algorithm. So I think it's better to do fewer, longer shows than a bunch of very short ones. If a bunch of maybe you only have an hour a day, then do the 1 hour. You have to work with what you have, but if you have the option to do longer streams less frequently, do that. I see a lot of people do one stream a week. They stream 5, 10, 12, 15 hours. They do great. Whatnot loves long streams. The longer you can stream, the better. Me personally, I don't like the weekly thing. That's just not how I like to roll, so I don't do it. I don't take, you don't have to take all of my advice. You have to do what you like and what works for you best. And I don't like to stream for 12 hours straight, so I don't. But if you like it, you like to get it all out the way, do it, okay? You need to take my advice, try it, and then figure out what you like and what works, and then you do that instead, okay? Don't just keep coming back to my advice and beating yourself over the head because it's not working for you. This is advice. It's not law, okay? I remember getting a question. I want to say it was T How. Face cam versus behind the camera. Is it important to be in front of the camera? Do you feel like it increases sales? It depends on the person, depends what you're selling. This is a very subjective question. Me personally, I am a woman in my 20s, fairly attractive. I wear nice clothes, I wear makeup. I'm entertaining, I'm engaging with chat. Being in front of the camera helps. It does. I'm not going to sit here and act like being a woman in the video game category does not help me. I'm aware of that. But you got to use all of your assets. Like, you got to use everything at your disposal. Don't feel very confident in front of the camera. You think being in front of the camera instead of behind the camera might make you a worse entertainer. If you're worried about what people are going to think of you by being in front of the camera, maybe build your confidence by being behind the camera. But regardless of whether you're in front or behind, I never want to come into a show, especially a small show, especially if you got less than 10 people in there. If I come in and you are not already mid-sentence, I'm leaving. You need to be mid-sentence. You need to be negotiating with someone on a sale. You need to be talking about something. You need to be entertaining. Like, if I come into a show and nothing's going on, I'm not going to be the something that's going on. I'm going to leave. Like, Whatnot is social media. It's eBay, but it's also social media, okay? Like, you're selling and you're entertaining. And if you're not doing both of those things, I'm not staying. If you're entertaining and you're not running auctions, I'm out. If you're running auctions and you're not entertaining, I'm out. It's not one or the other. It's a bundle. It's a package. You got to give me both or I'm gone. If you want to be boring, go to eBay. Okay? Go to eBay. Giveaways. Giveaways are very controversial on Whatnot, okay? Some people say don't do them. Some people say you gotta do them. Some people give away a tiny little bit of stuff. Some people give away insane stuff all the time. You will see people giving away Pokemon cards worth 1 penny. And then you'll scroll, and the very next stream, people are giving away Nintendo Switches and $100 Amazon gift cards every 5 freaking minutes. Okay? There's a lot of different ways to do it. Those are two extremes, definitely. You have to strike a balance. You have to consider, too, that giveaways are not all about converting to sales. They're important to convert sales. They're important to convert viewers into buyers. Yes. But you also have to consider the people that are watching and that are chatting. Is the giveaway, ask yourself this, is the giveaway worth 5 minutes of their time? You also have to consider the odds of them winning this giveaway. Okay? Maybe you're giving something away really cheap, but there's 200 people in there and they've got a 0.5% of a chance of winning something really cheap. Probably not going to stick around for 5 minutes if they're not super into you. Okay? But if you're giving something away really cheap and there's less than 20 people in there, they got good odds of they'll probably stick around. If you're giving something away mad expensive, way beyond something that is at your level, if you're only doing $100 of sales every 5 minutes and you're giving something away that's worth $50, not only are you killing your margins, you're probably inviting what they call givey goblins into your room, people that are only there to take advantage of the giveaways and have absolutely no intention to become a buyer. Like, I don't mind people that join giveaways that can't buy, but people that join giveaways with absolutely no intention of buying ever. Like, there are some people that are regulars of mine that come there every day. They're mods, they're active in chat, they enter every giveaway. I don't mind. That's fine. You give me your time, you give me your energy, you engage with me. I want to give back to you. I want to give you a giveaway. I do. I want you to win that. But if you see I'm giving away something really big, really cool, you come in for 5 minutes, you try to win it, I never see you again. Those are the people you don't want. Those are the people you don't want. You gotta be careful of those people. Your giveaways should match your sales, okay? It needs to make sense for you. So say you spend between the item and the shipping cost $10 every 5 minutes. You have to be making more than $10 of profit every 5 minutes. And don't be making $12 of profit and giving away a $10, okay? It has to make sense. If you're giving something away $10 every 5 minutes, you got to be making at least $20 every 5 minutes. You feel me? Like you gotta make it make sense. You gotta make it make sense. You also don't have to run them back to back to back. They do not have to be every 5 minutes. Okay, they don't. And if you do them every 5 minutes, not all of them have to be really expensive and really special and really big. Okay. If I'm having a really good day, I'll run free sale games back to back to back to back to back. I'll do it all day long. If I'm having a great sales day, I want to get people are being nice to me. I want to give back to them. If it's a bad sales day, or if it's just a bad week in general, I'll be alternating. I'll give away a pack of Pokemon cards. I'll give away a free sealed game. This cut my giveaway costs like almost in half. Like it cost me basically nothing for the Pokemon cards. And not just like a single card. Don't do that. Send them a pack. Send them something that they'll actually be excited to get. Something they can rip open. Because a lot of people like have kids or they have nieces, nephews, stuff like that. So even if they don't appreciate the giveaway themselves, they'll give it to somebody who does, and they're gonna give you a nice review because of it. So yeah, make the giveaways worth people's time. Make them make sense for you financially. You need to be making more money than you're giving away. You don't have to do them back to back, and if you do them back to back, not every single one has to be like the best giveaway you have to offer. People will sprinkle in giveaways. Like if they need to run to the bathroom, they'll run a giveaway. If you're breaking up on a new box of Pokemon cards in your Pokemon stream, they'll put a giveaway up while they're breaking up the boxes, shuffling the cards. If they're setting up a new surprise set, they'll run a giveaway to bridge that gap. Like you can use them strategically too. They don't have to be run constantly. If your show is standing on its two legs and people are in there because they're so entertained they can't look away, maybe you don't need a giveaway. Maybe you don't. It's all about retention. You want viewer retention, okay? Customer acquisition. Those are the two things you're going to use them for. So make sure that you're using them at times that it makes sense for you, at frequencies that it makes sense for you, costs that make sense for you. There's no perfect number, perfect metric I can give you. You have to do a lot of trial and error. No two whatnot accounts are the same, okay? What I do, you could do it exactly, and it's not going to work for you, okay? So I'm just going to give you this advice, and then you need to try your own stuff with this and go from there. Another question that I got is, how do you make sure that everyone receives their packages? You can't. You can't do that. You are not USPS. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to get lost, or they're going to get dropped, or they're apparently, looking at some of them, they're going to get run over by the freaking USPS truck. I swear they run them over with the mail truck, bro. Okay. So if you're not familiar with whatnot, USPS is the only partnered mail carrier. That is your only option. You have to use them. Okay. And sometimes, depending on the driver, they will get beat up. They'll get beat up real bad, or they'll simply never arrive. Okay. They get lost. Okay. It happens. But what you can guarantee is that everybody has a good experience. Okay. Whether they get their package or not, you can still give the customer a good experience with you. Because you are not UPS. You are not the one that personally beat their package with a hammer and then tossed it in the river, okay? You can still give them a good experience. You can offer them a refund. You can offer them a replacement. You can offer them a discount on a future show, okay? These are all things that you should be doing anyways, not just to avoid negative reviews, but I mean, it's nice. It's a nice touch to not get a negative review after that. Maybe even there's been positive reviews coming out of negative experiences for me because I made it right, because I made sure that I made it right. Order cancellation requests. You have to put in your show notes and also in the listing description itself. If it's just in your show notes and it's not in the listing description, the customer will have a case against you, okay? Make sure it says in your listing description. So if you're running an auction that says as shown and you're just got like 500 of them queued up, make sure in the description of that it says no cancellations. Unless they have like a really good reason. Okay, I'm talking like series of unfortunate events type shit. Like I bid and then I freaking crashed my car. I bid and then my freaking wife went to the hospital. You know, not all of these are going to be true. Use your best judgment. People will lie. They will lie in your cancellation requests. I get it all the time. But especially if they're regulars, be a little lenient with them. You want them to come back. They've been good to you, be good to them. But if they're first-time buyers and the cancellation request says something like, I bid on accident, my kid had my phone, I dropped my phone and I accidentally swiped, my dog swiped. That's not my fault, bro. Because if you hadn't bid $26, that item would have sold for $25. So maybe stay off Whatnot if you don't got the money for it. Take every order cancellation request with a grain of salt. I would accept the ones that are reasonable, which is very far and few between. So far and few between. How do you deal with negative reviews? Some of them are just going to be salty people venting. Okay? Some of them are just going to be like, they didn't cancel my order, so I'm going to give them 1 star and I hate them and I'm blocking them, deleting the app, and I'm never coming back. Okay? There's thousands of others that I can get money from, bro. Goodbye. Okay? Some people are salty. You can't do anything about it. Just ignore them. Because other people are going to read those reviews and be like, wow, that person's salty, and the seller probably didn't deserve it. And then they're not going to think anything of it. It's not going to reflect poorly on you. It's going to reflect poorly on them. Don't worry about it. If somebody leaves you a review and they're like, blah, 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 this was wrong, and I hate it, and I'm mad, and this person never reached out to me before leaving this review, I'm going to reply and be like, hey, you could have talked to me and I would have resolved it. I'm going to defend myself, okay? Why didn't you reach out to me? It's not that hard to send me a DM. But yeah, always try to resolve it in the DMs first. If they don't, just let them leave a negative review. Okay? Just let them. Speaking of DMs, reply to your DMs. I don't care how many followers you have. You are not God. You are not God. You're just a person. You're just a guy. You're just a guy. Reply to your DMs. You're not more important than me. You're not more special than me. Okay? I reply to every single DM I have, same fucking day I get them, okay? These people are people just like you. Does not matter how many followers you have or how many followers you don't have. You are the same worth as 2 human beings as each other, okay? I don't care how many fucking employees you got, how big your warehouse is, you got this car, that bank account. You're just a person. You're not more important than me. You can on your fucking phone and reply, okay? It's not that hard. Reply to your DMs. Reply to your DMs. You're a person, and if you want people to treat you like a person with respect and dignity and integrity, you need to act the same way. You're going to get what you give, okay? Input equals output. Not 100% of the time. Some people are going to be dicks to you regardless of whether you're nice to them. But almost all, I'm going to say 95% of the time, if you're nice to people, they're going to be nice to you back. And customer loyalty is so important. It's so important. Customer loyalty, customer retention, okay? Because the most expensive thing in any business is customer acquisition. So if you can just get customers and keep them, you're golden, bro. If you can get 100 customers and keep them forever, and those 100 people buy from you every day, you're set, bro. Just treat the ones you have nicely. Stop being so focused on bringing new customers in. Just treat the ones you got with respect, bro. Reply to them. Talk to them, bro. You're not God. You're not God. Okay? Generic advice that I have, real quick. We're going to do tax stuff after this, money stuff after this, okay? Generic advice, just in general, when you're streaming. Just general conduct, I'm going to say. General conduct section, okay? Be entertaining. I've said this already. Be entertaining. If you're not running auctions enough or you're not talking enough, you need to be doing both. Okay? I don't want to just hear music in the background and you go, and then you're just running stuff. I don't want that. I don't want that. Talk to me. Talk to the chat. Be talking about something, bro. Bro, when Arcane came out, I was going on 45-minute long rants about that show. People didn't care. You're like their little podcast most of the time. A lot of these people, especially if you're streaming in the daytime like I do, they got you in their earbuds or something and they're at work. You need to be entertaining without them looking at you. Okay? And if they only got a few minutes to jump on their phone and buy something, you got to be constantly running auctions too, okay? You got to be talking. You got to be entertaining without people seeing you, okay? You cannot rely on just the visual aspect of your show. You got all these cool lights and shit, but you're not saying anything interesting. Don't care. Don't care. Be entertaining. Be engaging. Talk to your chat. Read your chat. Unless you gotta have like 1,000 chat members constantly spamming your chat, or else I know you can keep up. I know you can read that. You could if you tried. I go into a lot of big sellers chats. They're moving, but they're not moving faster than you can read. You feel me? Like, read a book or something if you're that slow, okay? Get your reading speed, your comprehension up a little bit, okay? If you can't keep up with chat, that's not because chat's moving too fast. That's because you moving too slow, okay? Get that thing moving up in there. Get some wrinkles on that thing, okay? Read your chat. And don't just read it. Reply to the things people are saying. Talk to your chat, bro. This is a social media platform. You are an entertainer. You are an influencer. Talk to your audience. Talk to your audience. Those are your people. Ooh, talk to them. Again, on the you're not God thing. You're not so better than these people that you can't fucking give them your time of day, bro. They're giving you their time of day. They're giving you their time of day. Give them your time of day, bro. You're already streaming anyways. It doesn't take you any extra time to just fucking open your eyes and read the chat, bro. Just open your eyes and read the chat and then say things back to the chat. And guess what? If you're reading 1 in every 10 messages, that's not good enough. That's not good. I don't want to say something in the chat and maybe my Lord will bless me with a reply. No, I'm not taking that gamble. I'm going to take my fucking thoughts and feelings to a different chat room, okay? Where they'll actually be read and responded to. I don't care about one freaking guy so much that I want a crumb of his attention, bro. Just a person. If you're not going to treat me like a person, I'm going to go find somebody who does, okay? That's coming from a lot of my audience says I am their favorite streamer ever. I am the most engaging with my chat, and I am very entertaining, okay? I pride myself on those things. I might not have the best prices. I might not have the rarest stuff. I might not sell the most things, you know? But I'm freaking fun to watch. I mean, you're still here, so that's gotta mean something, right? It's gotta mean something. You gotta be entertaining, bro. You gotta be nice to people. You gotta give them a reason to stay, and not just because you're entertaining. You could be goofing off, you know, doing backflips and shit, but people can only take so much stupidity, and they need to be like, you need to engage with them at some point. You need to talk to these people. All right? Not required, but I mean, especially when you're first starting out, learn your regulars' names, bro. Not their usernames. Learn their names, bro. And get their permission. Maybe not everybody wants to be called their, legal name. Some people like their username. They don't like their legal name. So ask them. But especially when you're first starting out, you're probably packing your own orders. You're looking at the username. You're looking at their legal name. You can put 2 and 2 together next time you see them. Okay? Okay? Learn their names. And if they like you using their names, use those instead. That's just customer loyalty. Giving a fuck about your audience. Customer retention, bro. Not only is it nice, it's respectful, it treats people like they're people, but like it's good for your business. It's a win-win. People feel good because you care about them. They're going to spend more money with you. Don't only think of it from a money standpoint. That's the opposite of integrity, okay? You got to do good things because you want to do good things. Okay? Not because you think you have something to gain from it. That's not integrity. Integrity is doing good for the sake of doing good because you want to. Okay? I wanted to learn these people's names because I wanted them to feel good. Okay? Because I like it when people learn my name. Okay? My name is Catherine Drace. Everybody calls me Drace, that's fine. When people come in and call me Kate and Catherine, that's a little cherry on top, you feel me? But like at least learning how to pronounce my name and that it's Drace and not Dracy. Come on, guys, it rhymes with place. It rhymes with place, bro. The amount of times I raid people and they're like, "Oh my god, the Dracy place." Did you try? Did you think about it for more than 5 seconds, bro? No. Another piece of general conduct. If you do dollar starts, you're probably going to be upset for the price that stuff sells at sometimes. Not every auction is going to go for the amount that you want. That's a given. Sometimes people aren't going to be paying attention. They're going to set their phone down and walk away. They're going to miss a couple auctions. Sometimes this happens, and multiple of your buyers do this. Multiple people walk away. Instead of 10 people swiping, you got like 4 people swiping. And that's going to go for a lot less money, okay? Especially if you got sudden death on. You're going to get cooked. You're going to get cooked. And you're going to cook. And you cannot pretend like you don't cook when you get cooked, bro. You can't pretend like you're a freaking beggar on the street and you never make any money and this one auction's gonna bankrupt you, bro. You can be disappointed, but don't start lashing. The amount of sellers I see throwing fits and lashing out, bro. You can be upset. That's fine. I am the crash out mommy. I'm speaking from personal experience. People come for my crash outs. You know what they don't like? When sellers get up in their face, bro, and they verbally attack and abuse the buyers because they didn't bid enough, bro. You started it at $1. Last I checked, $1's all I need to bid to get in on this auction. I think I bid enough. Whether it ended at $1 or 500, I bid enough, bro. Stop attacking people. You can be upset, but you can't take it out on other people. Be a freaking adult. Everybody here is adults, bro. Stop being a fucking baby. Okay? Stop being a fucking child and throwing temper tantrums, okay? You can be upset, but stop taking it out on other people. Do not call them stupid. Do not call them asleep. Do not call them, I've heard this word. I thought we canceled this word like 15, 20 years ago. I hear people using freaking retarded still. Stop that. Don't do that. Mentally ill, handicapped. Why are we talking about real things that real people have to deal with in the real world that they actually suffer from and comparing people who bid low to like real illnesses and shit? Don't do that, bro. What are you talking about? Stop throwing, like, throw a fit, but don't take it out on people, okay? You can throw it, you can crash out. You can crash out, but don't fucking lash out, bro. Those are different. Being like, bro, yeah. So your favorite freaking team lost the fucking championship. You can be upset, bro. You've been invested all season. They dropped the ball at the last second, okay? You can be upset. What you can't do is be nasty to your partner for like a week because your freaking team lost. This is the same thing. Except you need to get over it a little faster because you're running an auction now. That one went bad. You're running another one right now. Get over it. Move on. Run another one, bro. People pretend like they don't get a ton of money for their stuff way more often than they get very little money for their stuff. Especially these big sellers, they get like one thing that sells for really low, and they pretend like they didn't oversell like the last 5 items, bro. You just got 120% market value for the last 5 things that you sold, but this one is absolutely gonna bankrupt your company. Yeah, you're gonna have to fire your employees and sell your fucking warehouse, bro. Okay, bro. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic and let's keep fucking perspective on things. You're having a bad week, next week's probably going to be better. You're having a bad fucking month, next month's probably going to be better. Or maybe last month was so good that you're going to be okay this month, okay? You got to keep things in perspective. You can crash out, but don't lash out, okay? Don't lie. I really have to say this, don't I? Don't lie to people. Don't scam people. They're gonna figure it out, bro. You're not slick. People are gonna talk. The video game category especially is not a very big category, okay? The word's gonna spread real fast. There's like 500 people in the category, bro. It's like a tiny little school in a tiny little town. Everybody talks, everybody knows each other, okay? It's gonna spread. It's gonna spread. They're gonna figure you out. You're gonna be accused of scamming even if you aren't scamming. So if you are scamming, you're super gonna be accused of scamming. Super duper, they're gonna figure you out. This is a long-term investment. Why are you scamming people out of a couple $100s, bro? If you're on Whatnot, you're probably in this for the long haul. Stop trying to pull one over on people. Just frickin' sell with integrity, bro. And when I say don't lie, don't scam, that applies to people who are regular big sellers too. Why are you guys doing that? Why are you lying about value? If you have to lie about value, maybe your products just aren't working as well as you thought they were. If you have to lie about the value of them to make a profit on them, maybe stop investing in that product. Maybe they don't sell well enough at the actual value that they're worth for you to have a margin, and maybe that just means that the product's not working for you and you should find something else. But what you shouldn't do is start lying about values, bro. Or lying about conditions. Or lying about the specifics of a game either. I've seen people claim that things are USA and they're not USA, they're imports. You know what's not worth as much as a USA copy? An import. That's lying and that's scamming and that's inflating prices. Stop price gouging in real time, bro. It's not very integrity. Doesn't have bro doesn't got a lot of integrity. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. If you can't make money and have integrity at the same time, maybe you just weren't cut out for this shit, bro. If you cannot make money and have integrity at the same time, maybe your business isn't working, bro. Maybe you need to rethink things. If you need to scam people to make money, then I don't call that a successful business. I call that a successful scam. Okay? If you're underpaying employees to make money, doesn't sound like your business can afford to hire employees yet. Maybe you just need to work longer hours, bro. Maybe you need to cut back on sales so you can handle it by yourself, bro. Have integrity. It's not that fucking hard. Having integrity is not hard. But on the other side of the spectrum, being a terrible, awful person and being a scammer is like, it's so easy to get ahead in the world. Like that, like the difference between being a good person and being a person with a lot of integrity, it's not a huge difference, okay? They're almost the same. There's a lot of overlap. But being a good person versus being the worst possible person on the planet is way easier to be a piece of shit, bro. It's so much easier. I get it. I get it. I do, okay? But if you can't run it with integrity, then maybe you can't run it, bro. Anyways, taxes. Hire a professional. I didn't hire a professional for the first 2 years. I had to pay a professional to fix my taxes. It cost me $140 for each year that I had to fix my taxes. Do you know how much they cost to just do your taxes? $140. Just hire somebody. It's not going to cost the same everywhere. You don't need a CPA, just get an accountant, okay? Just get an accountant. You don't need anybody with fancy little certification or anything like that. The accountant can do it just fine. The only difference between the accountant and a CPA is the CPA can submit your taxes to the government for you. The accountant can just prepare the documents, give them to you, and then you submit them to the government. Same results, much different cost. Okay, get an accountant. You don't need one for bookkeeping necessarily, but just hire one at the end of the year. You still got to put all your spreadsheets together. You still got to get all your receipts gathered up. You're gonna have to do that whether you do it yourself or not. But pay someone to fill out the documentation for you. Trust me, especially if it's your first time ever. Like, I messed up my taxes so bad the first couple years. I got massive tax bills saying I owed them like $40,000, which was wrong. They actually owed me because I did my taxes a little bit wrong and I overpaid, which was nice. It was a nice check to get in the mail. But yeah, they'll probably end up saving you more money than they cost. So just get one. Just get one. Something else that I wish I knew way sooner was the difference between the cash accrual method and the cost of goods sold method. When you hire an accountant, you do need to tell them which one you want. They're not going to decide that for you. Okay? Cost of goods sold. I'm going to use very simple numbers to break this down. Let's say you spend $100,000 on inventory. You sell through 25K of that inventory. So your costs of goods sold is $25,000. That $25,000 generated $50,000 in revenue, which means $50,000 came back to you in exchange for the $25,000 that you spent on that inventory, okay? So your cost of goods sold is going to cancel out 25,000 of that 50. So you're only going to pay taxes on 25,000 worth of that 50. Okay? So let's just assume 30%. You're going to pay $7,500 on the $50,000 that you made. Okay? But thing is, you only brought in 25K before taxes and you still got 75K out in the ether that you're not making money on and the money hasn't come back yet. You just got all that inventory sitting on hand. You have $75,000 still of on-hand inventory that you haven't moved. You cannot use that as a tax write-off until you sell it because you're using the cost of goods sold method. You can only count the money that you spent on the inventory after it sells. This is a great method for tax write-offs when you already have a well-established business and the business is selling through almost all of its inventory every year and there's not a lot of on-hand stuff and like stuff flips very quickly. Okay? But if you're just starting out, I would highly recommend the cash accrual method. I wish I knew about this sooner. I used the cost of goods sold for the first couple years and I was hit heavy with taxes. Heavy. I got tax debt because of it because I didn't know about this. Listen to this part. Cash accrual method. Same numbers. You spend $100,000, okay, on inventory. Let's say you sell 50,000 of it, okay? You get $100,000 back for the $50,000 worth of inventory you sold. Beautiful. We love that. You doubled your money on half of your inventory. You still have half of your inventory. So now you got $100,000 and $50,000 of your inventory. Okay? That's what you got. $100K in the bank, $50,000 worth of inventory still on hand. You are not going to pay a cent to the government. Do you hear me? Cash accrual method. This is beautiful. You spent $100,000, you brought in $100,000. It counts the inventory that you have not sold yet. It's money out, money in. That's it. Doesn't matter that you still have $50,000 worth of inventory on hand that you can still sell and make money on later. You spent 100, you made 100, you pay nothing. Now, next year, you sell that 50K worth of stuff, you cannot write it off again. If you sell that inventory and you get another 100,000, that 100,000 is going to be taxed fully. No write-offs for that. You can still have, gas, travel, all that stuff, all the extremities, but the cash flow, the cash accrual method, as far as money in, money out for the inventory costs, you cannot write it off in the next year. Only the year that you spent the money can you write it off. A really, really easy way to keep stuff organized without having to keep it organized constantly, because I know a lot of people will they'll buy something and then they'll type it up in a spreadsheet and they'll go on a trip and then they'll type all that stuff in the spreadsheet. That's a lot to do. That's a lot to put. There's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, especially if you're making a lot of money moves all the time. It's really hard to sit down once a day, once a week, and write all this stuff down all the time. Something I do to keep it really simple for yourself: get 2 business cards, 2 business credit cards, debit cards, whatever. One is inventory. The other one is, flipped you off. One is inventory. The other one is everything else, okay? One is inventory. The other one is everything else. Your travel, your food, your payroll, your supplies, your rent, your utilities, blah, 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 blah. Okay? You're going to be making a lot of little chachi inventory purchases sometimes. There's going to be a lot of transactions on that card. You do not need all of your little tiny other expenses that you do sometimes mixed into that stuff. You want one card where you can just be like, this is what I spent on inventory this year. Add up the 12 bank statements from this year. That was my inventory cost. And then you can go back through the bank statements on the other card. You can clearly see, okay, this one's at a Holiday Inn. That was frickin' hotel. This one's at a Sheetz. We were getting gas. Okay? It's really easy to look, that's an Indian restaurant. That's food tax write-off. Okay? So it's going to be a lot easier to go through that second card to figure out what needs to go in what category. But I would highly recommend, it doesn't have to be 2 credit cards. You could have a debit and a credit. You could have 2 debit cards. However you want to do it. Just have 2 bank statements, one way or another. 2 bank or credit card statements, completely separate. Doesn't cost anything to open 2 checking accounts. So, yeah, if you just want to have 2 debit cards, you ballin', you want to spend cash on everything, do it. I dare you, do it. But I mean, real talk, if you have a business credit card and you get cash back on that credit card, treat it like cash, spend it, and then pay it off immediately and get 1.5% cash back. Because if you're spending $10K a month, that's $150, dude. You don't have to do anything. You just got that. Guess what? Tax free too. Cash back is tax free. You don't pay taxes on that. You don't report that. That's free money, bro. Free money. If you got 10K in the bank, throw that purchase on your credit card and then pay it off immediately. Get the 1.5% cash back. Do that all day long. Do that all day long, bro. Use credit like it's cash, but don't overspend yourself, okay? Don't spend cash you don't got, bro. But yeah. All right, one more bonus question. Just completely random, couldn't figure out where to put it in this list. Is it frowned upon to resell things that you got from other sellers? No. No. You're going to get everything that you buy from other sellers. Nintendo's not going to sell you Mario Party World for the Switch 2 directly to you. Everything that you buy is from another seller. Don't feel bad. That's the whole game. Can you get it at a good price? Can they make money and you make money and the customers save money? That's a win-win-win. If you can do that, you're a great business person. Don't feel bad about negotiating. They're allowed to say no. Don't be mean. Don't bully them, okay? Into giving you something for cheap. Don't lie and be like, I have a sick wife and I want to get it for her birthday. Like, have integrity. Have integrity. But yeah, if the seller's happy with the price that they got for it and you know you can flip it for more, what's the problem? If you're worried about people seeing you buying stuff through your seller account, make an alternative account and set up the tax exemption on that account, okay? But you can only set up one tax exempt account. So if you're going to do that, do it before you set up tax exemption, okay? Yeah, I have an account that I purchase from Whatnot. Sometimes I really don't buy from Whatnot anymore. Every once in a while I will. If there's a really specific thing that I need and I know that somebody's going to be selling it sometime throughout the week, I'm going to go pick it up and I'm going to use that account because I don't need the right place, one the option. Oh my god, it's the Drey's place. What's she doing in here? She can't find her own inventory. She needs to leech off of these other sellers. She must not be very good. I just need a couple things sometimes, bro. I just don't need all those eyeballs on me. You know, just make an alt. Don't make it obvious that it's you. Okay? Don't be stupid. Don't use your first name and your last initial and your birthday. Okay? Just a generic piece of advice. Don't approach whatnot from a mindset of scarcity. Like, oh, like, I don't want to let this stuff go at a discount or a good price for people because, like, what if I never get a hit this big again? You're going to find another score. You're going to find another score. You will. Just sell what you got, bro. Don't be hoarding your stuff. The whole point you bought it is to sell it. Don't list it at a ridiculously high price, basically full market value, and just sit there and hold on to it, okay? Just move it. You're gonna find another score. You're gonna find a good collection, a good lot. You're gonna get a good price on it. You did it before, you can do it again. Don't hold on to stuff. Just let it go. Whatnot is all about quantity. You gotta move volume. You're only gonna make $1 or $2 per sale, but you're gonna sell 500 things in a show if you're fast. Okay? You can make money. You can make money. Don't approach whatnot with a mindset of scarcity. Approach it from a mindset of abundance. Because you are going to attract the things that the way that you think. You're going to attract the way that you think. So if you're thinking from a mindset of scarcity, perhaps you're always going to be living in scarcity. But if you approach it from a mindset of abundance, you're going to be like, I found this lot this one time. It was a really good score. I got a really good price. I'm going to sell it all. I'm going to find another one. You're probably going to do that if you think like that. You can only achieve things that you believe that you're capable of achieving. So stop talking down to yourself. Stop telling yourself that you need a good setup, you need good equipment, you need to be more entertaining, you need to look nicer, you need to get a good outfit, you need to blah blah blah, but you have to have better inventory. Just start. Just start. This is a guide for beginners. Guys, that means beginners can do it. You don't have to be a pro. This is a guide for beginners because beginners can do it. Just do it. Invest in people. That includes buyers, sellers, everybody. It's a community. Treat it like one. Okay? You need to build a community and not a customer base. Community and not a customer base. If you want a customer base, go to Amazon, go to eBay, go to Mercari, where they don't care about you. They only care about the things that you're selling. But if you want people to care about you and you want to be a good entertainer and you want to have a community, go to Whatnot. And if you're not wanting to cultivate a community, if you do not want to be an influencer, if you do not want to be an entertainer, then maybe don't do Whatnot. Okay? This is a really freaking long video, hour and 40 minutes. Alex is going to have a hell of a time editing this down. I love you. So sorry. Please don't hate me. I hope that my microphone lasted the whole time. Oh, beautiful. It's almost dead, but we made it. We made it. All right. I love you guys. I friggin' love you. Say it back. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.